All right. Might help if I get my microphone on. All right, we'll try that. See if that's a little better now. All right, welcome to another episode of CAV HQ Live. I am your host, CAV Boss. So I've been working on a new board. It's kind of a shanty town. I think I'm going to build probably some kind of a mine, I'm thinking, nearby too. I've got 2 or 3 scenarios in mind for this. It's going to be a pretty good sized shanty town. I mean, it's going to take up a big chunk of the center of the board with some hills and stuff and trees. Kind of just a backwater planet, fringe on the edge, down on their luck kind of people that are just kind of getting by with what they've scrounged up and what they've earned on the mine and whatnot, I guess. So anyway, so that's kind of the plan. So tonight I'm finishing putting up, I've been painting this Blade Silver Reaper Mini paint on all my corrugated, or some of them. I'm going to do some other ones, some different colors, but got to have, good old silver galvanized tin. So we're going to get this one, and then going to work on my Terran Force. I did get some of these all base coated, so we're going to wash on those a little bit tonight. And as always, we are going to talk all things CAV. So if you have any questions, concerns, ideas, let them flow, baby. All right. I didn't get a couple of these primered as well as I probably should have. I was using some red material in my Prusa printer, and it definitely needs a little better primer to kind of kill the red. But we'll get there. We'll make it work. As always, I tend to persevere, figure it out. And just so that I've got it down, I'm going to put it up on the forums and stuff too, but conventions, we've got Genghis Khan coming up here last week in February. That'll be our first convention for the year, and first one we've gone to for a long time, it seems like. And then we are doing Little Wars in Chicago area and Adepticon. So we will be at Adepticon. We will have more shows to announce as we go. Hi, Elmer, how are you doing? I am working on my shanty town and my Terran Force tonight a little bit. It's always been a day, it seems. Yeah, I know that feeling well. Get some more. I've lost my little needle for poking holes in my thing here. Oh well, we'll make it work. I'm going through lots of silver paint. Good thing I got more of these. For sure, for sure, for sure. Well, they are 3D files that I can't remember the site that I ended up getting them off of. The guy advertised them on one of my Facebook groups that did them. And he's done a couple of different sets of them and some other things. So anyway, I got those, but I've been making modifications to them too. Luckily, he didn't group everything together, so I can go in and delete what I don't want or add, make some changes. So, and I haven't got printed the ones I built some too that were more what I needed them to be. But this is for a new board that I'm working on. And like I said, this is going to be kind of, and I'll get the link if that's something that you want. Because I want to say they were like $10. Obviously, he designed them for 6mm. And I really think that the models are too detailed for 6mm. I think that I basically doubled them in size, and I think they make much better buildings. I was saying earlier, well, you know, and hell, guys that'll print FDM prints out there are a dime a dozen. I think it seems like kind of the numbers that I hear from people, they're charging like $2 an hour to print. I printed these at a little better quality than probably they needed to be. So I think these things have averaged like anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a piece. So, you know, if you paid somebody to do them, you know, what you'd be looking at $16 to $24 or so. Of course, if you want a bunch of them, it might be the thing to jump off and get you a printer. But like I said, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to build like a mine near it. I've got a couple of ideas in my head for the stories, for some scenarios. I'm hoping if I've got this thing ready by Adepticon, I might bring it with me. I'm not really planning on running events right now. It's just every year I try and it just kills me. Just too much going on with everything else. I miss the days of just going to a show to run games. I need to do that again every once in a while. I miss that. I find that very enjoyable. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially if you take the time to build up a nice board and have a good story behind it. So, worst case, Hugh, because I do plan on coming to NashCon, I could have it ready at least by NashCon, and you guys could set it up and run it. Silver, silver everywhere. But because I hope to have this board done and then my kind of my desert board finally finished with all the parts with it. So maybe get them both boxed up and bring them with us. And just since James said something, I don't know if you noticed here, but I did get some horses made. I think they're pretty close. I might make them try some just a little bit bigger, just to see. But I've got some, I'm kind of working on some alien cows right now too. Hopefully I'll have those next week. Yeah, it does. But the crowd, it's expensive. I bought some cows years ago for a board that I was doing. And I want to say that, it's like $30. And I don't know, I didn't get very many of them, eight or 12 of them or so, which is ridiculous for mass-produced plastic at that size. I still have them. I need to rebase them and that's one of the things that inspired me to go ahead with and do the terrain in the last Kickstarter was I wanted a bunch of shipping containers. And just like one shipping container was like $8. Like, oh my gosh. I got these silvered up. This batch, there's going to be a bunch of them. The main thing that I found printing these, the guy, I think, and especially at the smaller scale, I think he really intended on these to be printed with the SLA printer, with resin printer. So that's part of it too. They're not set up as well for, of course, since I'm printing them bigger, that helps a lot too, but they're not the best setup for FDM. So that's part of where I've been modifying them to. After I printed these, I was like, I can change a few things and get a better print and speed them up. Because so much of this is wasted space. So on some ones I'm working on now, I cut the roofs off of them. So I print the roof separate, and then the building they print twice as fast. All right, so I think that's all that one there. So let's let those dry for a little bit. We'll work on our Terrans. See what we can. These I just airbrushed them all. If you haven't heard, what I'm going for is kind of like the chocolate chip camo that they used in Desert Storm. Kind of a light tannish, yellowish color with the dark brown mottled, kind of camo with little white and black specks on it. That is the plan. Whether we get there, I don't know, but we can hope. All right, so first off, so I got them base coated here. Some of the vehicles for the Force, and then my Starhawk 5 here. So now I'm going to give them a nice ink wash. This is skin wash. It's brown. I think last week what we do, three drops of this to 1 drop water, I think is what we ended up with. And got a pretty good wash out of it. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to need some agua. Oh, I thought I brought my dropper up here. Forgot it again. All right, well, that's all right. We'll use a brush here and we'll get some water. Or no, we did. Okay, no, we did 3 drops of water to 1 drip of ink, so 6. Oh. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. I want to try this first. See how this turned out color-wise. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, so we're going to, we'll do our Starhawk 5 first. I guess I better move everything so I don't drip anything here. All right. Now, the way that I typically paint, and like I said, I am not an expert by no means. I paint probably how the vast majority of the world paints, so at least if you watch me, you won't feel bad, depending on your level of painting. But what I normally do is I base coat my whatever color that I'm kind of going with. I do a wash. Then I come back and dry brush the base coat back on over that. And then I kind of then go in and highlight with a middle tone. And then dry brush with a light color. I am very much a army painter. I just paint to get my stuff out on the board and not being too embarrassed by it. I like to to wash with inks. I think inks make for a much better wash when they dry. They're easier to control. A little more forgiving. I can get everywhere. All right, getting there. It'll never fails. I'll find a spot later that I missed. I always do. All right, I think I got him. We can only hope. All right, so it gets him. Okay, I'm gonna go over here, and these are gonna be a little tougher since I don't have them on a stand. But we'll make do. I need to get some down in that inside there, but figure out how we're going to do that. Do. Let's see here, we can get a little easier brush down in there. Get enough in there to run it around a little bit. All right. I'll not do one more before I have to mix some more here. These emmets are going to look great. These things got so much panel and line work on them. Makes it a whole lot easier to paint these things and make them look a little better. In my opinion, even though Mr. Ross gets mad at me because he doesn't have nowhere to put decals, these are dual cast. No metal here. See if I can squeeze this out to finish this one. Yeah, no, it's fun. It's a fun one. I like playing it. It was a cool design. I love it. All right. And then mix some more here. We'll do 5 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then we need 10 drops of aqua. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Actually, I think I have a. And maybe I can get away doing it this way a little bit. Put a little more on him. I kind of went cheap on him when I knew I was running out. All right. Let's get our dingoes here. Get up in there. Yep. Okay, here. Another one of my favorites is the dingo. I always like to try to get dingoes in my Terran forces. I enjoy playing them. All right, one more dingo. I am very much a play what I like more than try to make some uber perfectly balanced force. I guess that's the reason that kind of falls over into some of my model designs. I know there's some out there that look cool, but they're not maybe the greatest model to field. But I like doing it anyway and figuring out a way to use them. Makes winning so much more fun. Hold on, we're almost there. And squeeze it out. Yeah, I mean that's the darts one like that. Like, you know, it's got its purpose. It's not the greatest model. I mean, as far as stat wise or whatever, but they're just fun to play. All right. So we'll let all those guys now do their drying thing. All right, so now we need to do, oh, you know what? I didn't bring my black ink up here with me. Well, that sucks. Hold on just a second. I'm going to run over here and grab the black ink. All my stuff is actually downstairs, but I happen to have kept some ink up here, an extra set. All right, so we'll be good there. All right. We will make it work. All right. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. Come over here. Some water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so let's get our buildings here and we'll set our vehicles to the side. We'll let those dry. We'll get on those next week with the next layer. Ink takes a little bit longer to dry. All right, so now we're gonna come in here and do a black wash on top of my metal here. Part of my problem is that brush. The brush sucks. All right. Well, I'm thinking it's going to be pirates. With maybe like a mercenary. Maybe they've been having problems with pirates, so they've hired in a mercenary group for protection. Kind of a down on their luck group to boot. Kind of my thought process on that one. Well, no, they have a mine. That's what I was saying. There's going to be a mine. It may not be the greatest mine ever, but they're getting something out of it. And like I said, it's going to be, the mercenary. We're not talking top of the line mercenary group. And maybe some watermelons. Could be. They have secret life extending watermelons. Well, you can do it however you want to. The scenario is going to have pre-picked forces. So if you want to play the scenario with your own model forces, that's up to you. I always write scenarios with pre-designed forces because I think that challenges a player more so than just, here's the game, pick what you want to play and go. You can still do that if you want, but try out the scenario. See if you can make it work. Be sure to include Spathis. Yeah, well, don't know about that, but you never know. We'll see. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I am already ready for winter to be over. Big time. I hate the cold. If it wasn't for the fact that I have a company to run during the winter, I would be somewhere warm. But I can't run my company and be somewhere warm at the same time. Guess I could move the whole company. Maybe that's what I need to do. See, and we've got a fifth wheel camper. You know, we could go to Arizona or something during the, Gotta do something. I worked outside the majority of my life, and I am done with the cold. All right. Darken my roof up a little bit more. I don't think it got enough on the roof. Got kind of a weird texture on that one. All right, let's see. I guess we better mix up some more. Three, four, five. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the big one here. Sometimes, depending on with these FDM printers, depending on the angle that it's printing at the time, you get kind of a different pattern sometimes. And there's not a lot you can do about it when it's multiple, you have all these different angles on some of these. It's that one. Oh. Do, 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 do. All right. Mix some more up. It's a never-ending mix. I would say probably not very common. The only reason I say that is just because I'm not saying that they couldn't, but there's just so many groups out there. I mean, there's because you've got mercenaries out there that, I mean, literally, probably the vast majority of mercenary groups are like squad size. You know, they're all trying to grow, but merkin is a hard, tough business. Yes, they would contract their and I would imagine that there are mercenaries out there that's all they do is contract drop ships. They're the drop ship. You know, they provide transport. You know, the mercs of the mercs. Because there's mercenaries out there that are, you know, that are in all different facets of the deal. I mean, if you want a squadron of destroyers around your planetary system, I'm sure there's a group out there that provides that service. If there's a need, there's somebody out there that's going to do it and to get paid. All right. Percentage-wise, I mean, there's going to be lots of mercs out there that probably have stuff like that. But if you take it into a whole and say, you know, is it 50% of mercs or something like that, I don't think it's going to be anywhere like that kind of a number, just because there's just so many groups out there. And I would say that probably for the vast majority of them, it just makes more sense. I mean, obviously you're stuck without transport if you got to get out of somewhere quick. But you know, especially a lot of the smaller groups and stuff like that, they're going to be pulling garrison duty. You know, stuff like this where they're guarding a mine or something like that, where it's not high intensity combat's expected. You know, like fighting. You know, in the middle of a war, planetary war or something. So, you know, probably money-wise, it makes more sense not to even have that. Or that's part of what they negotiate with a system or whatever is as part of their contract. You know, they're expected to provide transport for them to get them there. So, you know, planet may have its own old beat up drop ship that takes their stuff to another planet for a market or something like that. Like this planet here, you know, they might have actually had an old beater up ship that they could transport the mercs here. And I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, it could be that, that they managed to, at one point, to take out some pirate group or something like that and captured a couple of CAVs or a couple of tanks or something. And, they hire in somebody to come in and crew them for them with the intention that they get to keep it maybe or something. I don't know. Could be. Spot there I missed. All right. James, did you notice my horses? That timed out just about right. Okay. I am working on some alien, I've got some alien kind of cows that I'm working on. I couldn't find anything that I liked, so I'm having to make one. Just busy hobbying. Well, that's always good. We like everybody to hobby while they're here. All right. I think that's a pretty productive evening. This one here I didn't go ahead and do. I'm trying to decide if I should paint the ground first and then come back or do it and then do the ground afterwards. So this one, it's going to be a little trickier to work on. I need to do a better job of primering. On the buildings, I'll do some pin washes with the brown. Yeah, I'll do some pin washers with it, so for some weathering and stuff like that. This one here, there's not a lot of good texture on the ground. What I might do is get Vallejo that makes the or MIG that makes the dirt paint that's got the texture in it. I might get some of that and dab that in there to give the ground a little bit more texture because it's pretty flat and doesn't have a whole lot of to it. So I'll figure it out. All right, folks, that's going to do it for tonight. It's 9 o'clock, the witching hour. Thank you very much for being here, as always. Anything I need to cover right quick that anybody's got a question that they want me to hit on before I'm out of here? As far as where we're at on all our projects, I'm trying to get stuff out. We've got the Emmets and the what's the other one? The Horus. Those are good to go. We just haven't had a chance to get them out yet. We're working on molds and working on masters. This COVID stuff. company that we're having cast up stuff is just now getting back up to speed. So, and of course, we are one of many that they're trying to get everything for. So, hang in there. I'm working on books. I've got a zillion things going. That's kind of why these are getting as slow as they're getting, because they're kind of just my Wednesday night projects. It's not something that's getting a lot of time during the week with everything else that's going on. It's like I was talking to my wife about it today. It seems like every time I kick a dirt hill down, 2 more pop up in its place. So, story of my life, but it is what it is. So anyway, folks, thank you again for being here. Have a good night. Keep hobbying, keep doing your thing, and we will talk at you later.